Well, here we go. January 9th. The brassicas, beets and greens, winter greens, have really been hit hard. And I elected to set this stand because it's so muddy elsewhere that I feel the deer are going to gravitate more to the green fields. It's more stable underfoot than sloshing through mud. It's a little colder now than it was last night. It's been extremely warm. And it's really upset the apple cart on trying to pattern any deer. So we're out here. It's a lot warmer than it normally is on the 9th of January. So it gets dark. We'll be done at 5:30. It gets dark at 5:04, so basically 5:30 will put a wrap on it. But we'll hunt right till dark. And we'll just sit back here and first time I've ever sat this stand. It's a new stand. I put it in there a couple weeks ago. Finally got the right wind, so we'll see what happens. I just had something happen to me. When I got in there, I realized my tab was gone, and I always carry a spare. I put that red flagging on it, so if you drop it, it's brown. You could find it. Well, I not only lost, apparently, my arrow that I put this on. Slide it down, stick it in the quiver. Walking through the cornfield, apparently, that arrow's out in the cornfield somewhere. So it could have fell out last night leaving, or it could have fell out more than likely today going through the cornfield. So, but be prepared, because if you didn't have a release, you didn't have a tab, you'd be done for the night. Yeah, I put some urine on this arrow. I'm going to shoot it down there and see what happens. The buck walks out. Hit right where I was aiming. There's a doe laying right there. She's laying right there on the edge of the timber. That's something. Well, it got in here and not spooked her. To have got in here, got into this tree. I got the wind right, and I did everything right to get that close. You can see her sitting in there chewing her cud. Unreal. I just glanced over there and I said, there's a deer laying there. Well, we'll keep tabs on her. There it is, 340. And right there. Oop, get up there, get up there, get up there. Right there's the deer. Really interesting. 341. Right there. Laying at the base of that tree. Is that doe. That's the highlight of my day. What's really classic about that is that doe is 100 yards away. She's laying facing straight south with the sun on her, as you can tell, and the wind blowing over her back. Perfect bedding situation. And she's only a few feet or a few yards from a food source, what's left of it. But if you would have tried to walk out there in the open, all you would have seen was a white flag. Hunting so much more than killing. Well, I'll tell you one thing. As I zoom this back out, you wouldn't even know there was a doe laying there. we'll keep track on her. I don't know if I'll be able to get her when she gets up immediately, but I'll get on her as soon as she gets up, because I ain't going to sit here and hold the camera on her all that time. She just got up. I knew I wouldn't be able to get her getting up, but because I don't really have a shot going that way, but she's up on her feet, and it's about 3:55. Well, where she comes back. Well, here we go. Last night of the season. And the deer are really hard to figure out right now. It's been so warm. This is the stand we were in, I believe on the 18th, when it had all the snowpack. And looks entirely different now. And the deer movement, I'm just wishful thinking. The reason I'm sitting in this stand tonight is I got a southeast wind, and it's coming right into my face. And so any deer that moves out there, I should have them beat. Now, they can beat me behind me because they've been coming out over there also. But I'm going to play this main trail, and it doesn't look like it's been overly used because, like I said, snow's been melted off for quite a while. Really wet down here. So sit back, it ain't over until it's over. But anyhow, it'll be over at about 5:35. This'll be the last legal time to shoot. So I'll stay until dark. So let's rock and roll and see what unfolds. Well, there you see firsthand. Sometimes paint on that arrow works. Sometimes it don't. I'm really glad she spooked off that human pea, just to show you that it don't always work. And there was a case that she'd been around the block and back again. Oh, by the way, I'm really hunting. The last time I set this stand, I had a comment that all I was doing was watching deer. Well, I'm a selective hunter. I don't hunt for substance. That lets me go to the field a lot longer. And this is a real bow hanging in a tree. So if I didn't have a deer license and a game warden came by, I can't tell him I'm just watching deer. I'm actually hunting deer, but I'm more choosy on what to shoot. I'm not in just killing everything that walks by. If I had to, and I had the right wind, I'd have been sitting that stand, and I could have killed both of those deer. But I needed a northeast or east wind, and I got a southeast wind. That's why I selected this stand, because I'm downwind of that main trail. If I'd have sat that with that wind and that doe would have came by, smart as she would have blew out of there anyway. But that would be my straight east wind, northeast wind stand. That's why I'm not in that. Well, the season ended. We had that one shot, and we almost closed the deal on that buck. But that's the thing about hunting 150-inch bucks in the real world. They're far and few between. And there's a lot of YouTube videos out there because there's a lot of people bow hunting. But when you break that percentage down as how many people are actually killing trophy deer, it's a small percentage. So don't get depressed. And you know, like I say, this is the second year. It doesn't bother me at all because I got to spend all that time in the field. And on another topic, the other night when I got to my tree stand, I noticed I lost my tab and my arrow that held the tab. It fell out of the quiver. And I want to show you something. You talk about finding a needle in the haystack. Well, we did, because I tried to rehearse somewhat where I walked, but in that cornfield it's pretty hard. But here's what saved the day. Now when you venture into a cornfield looking for one arrow, you're virtually looking for a needle in a haystack. But here's what we get in here. I'll show you. And boy, old corn has really been hammered by the deer, which is a good thing. As you can see, stalk after stalk. Now, that just shows the predation of on the agriculture crops here in Iowa. That's why the DNR has to manage the numbers, because left unchecked, and if a farmer didn't get his corn out readily, he would have, you can look down here, all you'd have would be corn cobs. So let's get on over here. you want a mental imprint landmarks, I knew I went south of that thornwood tree, and the stalks were catching my quiver and my bow and everything. But here we are, right here is where I found it at. And you can see it laying there, and that's the nice thing about 5-inch fletch, is you got a lot of color. Plus, I'll walk up here, I always tie this little piece of fluorescent tape, as you can see, on my tab. Because if it falls on the ground, if that was just laying there, you could see how hard that would be against that dirt. But boy, it stands out pretty good with that little piece of red tape on it. Looks like the deer walked over this. And but at least I got that broadhead out of my field. But that little red piece of tape, like I said, if I took that off, you can imagine what that would be. Let's just cover that up. Now, you see no tab at all. That would be tough. And with that bright fletch, 5 inches, you can really see a lot of feathers. It's just a little tech tip, because I tell you what, I had my job cut out for me, and it's a cloudy day also, so that really kept the glare off of that arrow shaft. I used to shoot autumn orange arrows, and then they went to those camouflage with, basically all you can buy is, and boy, I'll tell you what, those by themselves blend right in with that ground. But anyhow, it's like I said, boom, there it is right there.